good, Backyard Barbecues and Barbecuettes, man? This your boy, Mr. B from Backyard Barbecue, man. It has been a blessing to be here in front of you guys. And without further ado, we finna get busy. Y'all already know how I get down. It's gonna be a million cooks, but there's some things I want to cover first. We're talking about 7 different things. We're gonna talk about 7 different things in reference to getting ready for big cooks. Memorial Day weekend is coming up this weekend, Monday. But a lot of people cook on, I'm cooking on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Can't do nothing on Monday because I gotta let my pull behind cool down so I can put it back up. But anyway, we're gonna talk about 7 different things to get you prepared for a big cook. In this case, Memorial Day, but you can apply this to any holiday: 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthday, Father's Day, anything like that. You can apply this to anything. And without further ado, we're going to talk about these 7 different things. And I got my handy iPad here because I want to make sure I give you the proper and complete content in reference to getting ready and getting busy. A reminder, if you're advanced, fast forward through this part because I'm talking about the basic fundamentals, right? If you think you know it all, fast forward to the weekend cook when I'm getting busy, and then we'll talk. But right now, I want to do the groundbreaking starting points. We're going to talk about your equipment. We're going to talk about your fuel of choice. We're going to talk about meat inspection, the trimming. We're going to talk about the seasoning window, when you season it, the best time to do that. We're going to talk about thermometer calibration. Don't nobody talk about that. We're going to talk about that, y'all. We're going to talk about the time lock. What that means is, let me give you an example. If you plan on cooking at 6:30 in the morning, and then you plan your day based off of that, and you got a group of people coming at 5 p.m., you're doing it wrong. You should do it in the reverse order. What time people expect to get here, however you do your invites, and then you go backwards. 2 to 3 hours for your rest time. I would say 2 at most, unless you're doing pulled pork or you're doing a brisket. But anyway, you count backwards. 2 hours of rest time, put in the cooler. We're going to talk about all that. Then you count backwards. You do your cook, give yourself 2 to 3 hours stall time, especially if alcohol involved. And I'm talking about you stalling, not the meat stalling. Like things that come up. Oh man, I gotta run to the store. Things like that. Give yourself some wiggle room. And as you back up, you'll realize, oh snap, instead of getting up at 6:30 in the morning, I should have been up at 2 a.m. These are the things that preps you to be ready for a night to remember. And last but not least, man, we're gonna talk about the rest and hold plan and what I use to hold my food. Without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. All right, y'all, we back. Check number 1. Talking about the equipment check. This goes from testing yourself, making sure you're in good condition, making sure your grill is in good condition, or the tools that you plan on using, making sure they're calibrated, things like that. I'm gonna show you a couple things I use to clean my grill. Let me start with ashes, right? Do not, if you spend a couple of dollars, $10 to one may be nothing to another, right? So I don't care if you got a small Smokey Mountain Weber. I don't care if you got a pull behind. I don't care if you got a food truck. Make sure you take care of your stuff and it will last longer. The biggest thing that will destroy your grill is ashes, right? What I mean by that is leaving ashes in the grill for an extended period of time starts to, because it's acidic, right? It starts to eat at the rust. And if you got a thin grill, and what I mean by that, just look at your grill from the side and see how thick the metal is. Take one of those little calibrators and see the dimensions on that and see how thin it is. That will tell you a lot about your grill. Clean your ashes, right? I got a couple tools here that I utilize. First thing is, and let me start by saying, I am in no way affiliated with these people, but if you want to send me a box or 2, I buy it anyway, so hook me up. I'm gonna give you some love. I use this stuff right here. It's called Citrus Safe barbecue grill cleaner. And what I'm gonna try to do is, as I go through these tools, I'm gonna try to find them online, and I probably post them below. If you see them below, I found them. If not, Google is your friend, man. It takes 5 minutes to get on Amazon or something like that and pick up something right here that's gonna save you a life of time. This is what I use on my grill grates. When I'm sitting there and I'm scrubbing, what I call the greeny weenies, right? Military term, but it's like a green scrubbing pad, scouring pad. Scrub it real good, get them clean. I use this right here on the grill grates. It's safe for food, things that come in contact for food and stuff like that. Get you one, get you 2, get you a bunch of them, or whatever. Or get whatever you use. Scrubbing pad. Son broke this the other day, but guess what? It's good for that elbow. When you got them hard to get, when you actually unseasoning your grill, and we'll talk about that too later. But when you cleaning out thoroughly, and then you need to put that seasoning back on it, get you something like this. All right. This right here, I got two of them. I bought one. Two came, called the company, said, hey, y'all made a mistake. They said keep it, it's on the house. Appreciate y'all. I might even give it away. What these are, and they go right on the drill. So if you got a DeWalt, you got a cheap home Harbor Freight, hey, don't slip. Harbor Freight, get the job done. One and done is what I call them. Great tool for one job. We come with a bunch of stuff in here. I'm gonna dump it out real quick so you can see it. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm just gonna talk about the basics real quick because a lot of you probably just don't know. I use these, put them on there. This is the kit I use on my Big Joe 3, and that's my Kamado grill. We'll talk about that once I actually get up there. One day we're talking about that. I'll bring this out and I'll show you what I do. Simply spraying this, let it sit for a minute, putting this on my drill. The drill doing all the work. I'm just sitting there and just going around and cleaning it. Come back with a wag, wipe it off, make sure it's good. All right. This right here, JB Well High Tip. It's like silicone. It's in a red color. If you have a grill from Lowe's or Home Depot that's sitting outside, chances are it has air leaks in it. And what I mean by that is when you fire up your grill and you put your ashes or your charcoal in there and you close the lid, just monitor it for a minute. Sit back and see where the smoke is coming out. Yeah, it may be coming out the smokestack, but then look where else it comes out. If you don't see anything off the beginning, because it's going to be mostly smoke, you're in good condition. But if you see smoke coming out of little cracks and crevices, these are type modifications right here will save the day. This will save you so much heat. Heat rises. You can't keep it in if you got holes in the side. This right here, take it off, got a cap on there, cut it, seal it, close it, cure it. That means fire up your grill and fire it up, let it burn. No food on there. Do it a couple times just to be safe. Last but not least, this right here, peanut oil. During Thanksgiving, when you're frying the turkey, what do you do with your peanut oil? Tell you what I do. I save it, put it. I buy the peanut oil from Sam's or Costco, like probably four gallon. Pour it back in here. I save it. Use it throughout the year. What I use it for? After you clean your grill, especially if you got grills that sit outside, get your little $5 spray bottle, and you spray this on the outside. What this does is, once you spray this on your grill, light it, and this gets into the outside of your grill, once it soaks in, it can rain 10, 15 times. Bead right off. Almost like Rain-X on a grill. So I do that to preserve it, keep the rust off of it. And the longer you don't see rust, the longer your grill lasts. All right, these are just some of the tools. I got a million gadgets I can pull out and show you, but I just want to cover the basics with y'all. So stay tuned. We'll talk about check 2 next. All right, y'all, we're back. Let's talk about check number 2, your fuel plan. No matter if you're using charcoal briquettes, lump coal, wood chips, wood chunks, pellets, no matter what your fuel source is, highly recommend that you have at least 30% more fuel than you plan on doing for a cook. Don't ever go into a cook saying, oh, I just need this little bit just to get by. Because the elements could control or destroy your day, right? If it's in your favor and you've just been lucky and blessed, then you don't have to run to the store and everybody pissed off because the food ain't ready. I'm gonna show you something I got from Sam's the other day. This is new improvement for me. Let me lift it up real quick. A lot of times when I used to have a dog, man, I used to keep dog food in these. But this right here, hands down, is the truth. Pop the lid, put my charcoal in, keep it moving. Set it and forget it, right? This is what I say is, I'm not sure if this is the thing about keeping charcoal fresh. I believe in that, right? You don't leave chips out, right, when you're done eating them. Either however you secure them, you keep the air from hitting it, they last a little longer. I think that about charcoal. So get you something like that. I don't care if you are old school. I used to just roll the Kingsford up, roll the bag up, set it down. Well, it's new day and age. That's what I use. But yeah, I highly recommend you get 30% more. I don't care if you use a wood, you do your calculations. I'll give you an example. Brisket. Doing a brisket, 10 to 15 pounds, it's probably gonna take you 12 to 15 chunks of wood. I just know that off the top of my head because I've been doing it so long. And that's with an efficient grill. Know your grill. That part about a grill master, and that's when you exceed all expectations is when you know your grill. No grill master, and I'm gonna be honest with you, no grill master can just walk to your house and should not be able to walk to your house and perform better than you on the grill. The reason why I say that, that's like shooting basketball. Home field advantage, right? A home court advantage, excuse me. If I'm sitting here and I've been shooting and practicing for the last 12 years on this particular basketball goal, you think I'm gonna let you come in here and destroy me on a goal I've been practicing on all my life? No. Same thing with a grill. If you own a grill, that's yours. You know that, hey, this thing got a little slope in it, one leg short than the other one. Oh, this one got hot spots over there. I ain't gonna put my meat over there. Hey, a pit master, he may identify it when he's cooking, but his first time cooking on it, he still can do a good product. But until you learn the grill and you can maneuver and move food as you see, until you learn that, that's when you exceed all expectations and you become the man. There may be areas in there where you could cook slow and didn't even know it. And you talking about putting it right over the fuel itself because you got some hot spots that are hotter than others. So just make sure you have enough fuel to get through your cook and then some. You'll thank me later. Let's go on to step 3. All right, welcome back, y'all. Let's talk about check number 3. Trimming your meat. Verify your meat is in good condition, right? I recommend doing this part a week out. And what I mean by that is just go inspect your meat, right? If you bought some food 2 months ago and ain't no freezer burn on you might be in shock depending on what you use. Matter of fact, this is a good example. These little Glad Lock bags right here ain't sealing on meat for a long time. If you think this is gonna last, I'm just talking about the bag itself. You put meat in here and you just seal it up and you didn't use the air seal or nothing like that to take the air and the moisture out of it, you think it's good a year later, you're sadly mistaken. Highly recommend that you get some form of it. You plan on doing pulled pork, that's another one. Brisket is another one that you can save. A lot of foods I don't recommend just cooking and throwing in the deep freezer. But pulled pork, brisket, definitely one of the ones you can salvage and reutilize if you know what you're doing, and it still be moist and tender, almost like it came off the grill, right? So keep in mind, when I talk about meats and stuff, inspect your meat. Check for the marbling on your meat if you got ribeyes, steaks like that. Check for, I'm not gonna say mold, but check for that the meat looks just like how you purchased it from the store. I cannot say that enough. And do that, like I said, a week out, because if you find out that something you purchased is no longer good, you bought yourself a little time to get yourself squared away. You don't want to find out the night before or the day before when you're taking it out to thaw out and say, oh, it's going to be ready when I get home. Or like I said, when it's going to be ready when I get home, that you find out that, man, this meat terrible. Got a funny smell, chicken like that sometimes. You don't play with salmonella. That's a whole nother story. But check your meat, y'all. All right? Let's talk about, before I end this one, let's talk about this right here. A couple tools I use. We was talking about pulled pork. Bought this from my home girl. She was selling some stuff, support her. And I needed one anyway, because the last one I had was umpteen years ago. I've been doing it the old school way. Forks. But this right here is magnetic, man. It does wonders. You'll see it in use this weekend, because I'm doing three pork butts this weekend. Numerous ribs. I don't know if you can see my refrigerator right here, but it's full with pork butts, chicken wings. I think it's 2 cases of chicken wings in there. It's loaded. I got to clean chicken all day tomorrow, y'all, so pray for me. Y'all see this? I got pecan wood chips straight from Georgia. We love this flavor right here. It's actually better if you're using pecan and you have access to pecan wood. Forget chopping the tree down. I'm gonna tell you the best flavor. The best flavor is in those limbs that fall off, and you just take them and snap them and throw them in the grill. Amazing. I don't know what it is about those little twigs, but it does the job. I don't really like wood chips, but I use them. I like chunks or either the logs themselves. It's right here, twine. This is your best friend when you're cooking something that falls apart. If you got boneless pork butts, you want to keep your meat together, and you're cooking something, a roast, you want to keep it together so it don't fall apart. You wrap it up with this, tie it in a knot. Hell, if you're doing a turkey, and and you want the legs to fold in, if you have skills, you can fold them yourself. But if you don't, you can tie this. You can wrap the turkey and tie this, and then cut it after you're done, when the meat is done. So those are a few tips I want to talk about when it comes to checking your meat and inspecting. Stay tuned for the next check. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about check number 4, your seasoning window. When should I season? My honest opinion is it really depends on what it is you season. I'll be honest with you, I was at a Florida-Georgia game one day, and this is just something for me that been cooking for a long time and just said, oh man, you need to leave it in there for 24 hours. And we went to the Florida-Georgia game, and no lie, we packed up all our stuff. We had all cleaned all our chicken, and we had all this stuff. We had turkey. Actually, you can go back to the video and check it out. If you see that product, hands down, the best chicken wings I ever, even better than my cracked chicken, ever tasted in my life. And the problem with that was we didn't record it. We didn't do anything. We had a bunch of seasonings, and you know how drunk folks at 8 o'clock in the morning just throwing stuff together. Can't tell you the combination or the right ratio to put it together. To this day, that haunt me. And not for the sake of reproducing it. I'm lying. I wish I'd have taken notes. I ain't gonna even lie to you. All I know is one of the seasonings, man. That's all good. But that just goes to show you that the myth of seasoning for 24 hours is just that, a myth. I think it's more of a mental thing than anything. Because I can do something and whip it up and then put it on the grill, and 3 hours later, people be like, man, biting their fingers off. The skin off their fingers, somebody's finger list, looking good. I can do the same thing with seasoning overnight. It's just how you do it, how much of what you use, etc. I say the grace point is, if you're using salt, pulled pork, and you're putting a ratio of salt in something, right? Then I recommend you doing it overnight. No more than 12 to 24 hours. Don't do it longer than that because you don't want your meat to turn salty, right? I would say 12 to 16 hours is a good threshold if you're using the right ratio of it. If you put too much salt in there, it don't matter how long, it's gonna be salty, right? Just make sure you follow the instructions. If you follow somebody or you listen to one of us avid pit masters, and you're running around and you're trying to, hey, I need to do this just like them, make sure you stick to the list of stuff they tell you to do and don't eyeball it. Get you the tools, the right tools, measuring cups, and pour the right ratios. I promise you'll thank us. All right. Another thing I use when I'm seasoning. This right here. This is my go-to. This right here, hands down, the best thing I could have probably bought. I seen a friend of mine, my Alabama buddy, down the street. He had one. I was like, man, that's kind of slick. I had one. This thing, I can put anything. I can take seasoning straight out the thing, fill it in here, mix it with a liquid, and I can inject in there. I even got a tool right here that straight got a hole in there big enough. I poke it in there, screw my tip in, and go to business. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you're using these bigger holes and puncturing, you need to put it back in the refrigerator. Let the meat close back up. Chicken is good for closing back up. It's a muscle. A lot of your meats have muscular development in them, and the longer you let them sit, the more they close up. All right? That's a free tip, fun fact. Last but not least, this has withstood the test of time. My spray bottle. I've had all kind. I've had the Home Depot version. I think they use for spraying little plants. Still food grade rated or food safe. But I got this one. I can't even tell you where I got it from. That's how long I had this thing. Probably Amazon. I ain't gonna lie to you. But this thing right here, I even bought one that a while back. Not sure if I had it in the video because I had shot a lot of videos lately. But yeah, I had one that you plug up your little USB-C cable to, which is for y'all that's like the wall charger, you know, to plug in your cell phone, the newer cell phones. I used one of those. It was perfect because I didn't have to do all the pumping. But then over time, trying to clean it, the connector wasn't waterproof, started to get rusty. Now I'm back to square one with no tools. But Old Faithful ain't never let me down. It comes with a couple of knobs. I'm gonna look for it because I wonder if they still sell this. If not, I'm gonna track it down for you. I promise you. Right? Cause this thing right here, the best thing, and it holds pretty decent amount of liquid. It says 1,000 milliliters, whatever that is. But anyway, y'all stay tuned for check number 5. All right, we back, y'all. Check number 5. All right, this is probably one of the more important checks that you can do on a grill, and you should probably do this. Let's say if you're in the South, anywhere below, let's say South Carolina on down. That's all the way across Texas, all the way. You should be doing this 4 times a year. And the reason why I say that is your temperature is pretty much a lot warmer. You're gonna do a lot more cooking versus up north. A lot of people up here on barbecue, believe it or not, and they complain they don't have barbecue spots. And you see somebody like me come up here and open a barbecue spot because I take my little knowledge that I know and bring it up here, and then people just amazed because they don't get that. A lot of people don't even like to go outside and do anything outside, really. I live on a street where people drive in their driveway, go in the garage. Yeah, I see people drive in their garage, let the garage down, then get out the car. The culture is totally different from the South, where we outside all the time. But anyway, another story for another day. What you do is you take a pot of boiling water. This check is only about 2 minutes, right? Once you get a pot of boiling water, or get a pot of water boiling. So what you do is you put the water in the pot, you turn it on, let it run till you see it bubbling. That is when you know the temperature of that boiling water is at 212 degrees. That is a critical key point for you. I don't care if you're using a digital piece of equipment or the old school. And I'm up close, right, so y'all can actually see this, right? No special gimmicks. On the back of this is a little nut. How you can adjust this. Not all of them come with it, because I do have some that don't, right? So what I do is I stick this in the boiling water and let it sit for 15, 30 seconds. This gonna shoot up to about 200, and then it's gonna slowly climb. I let it sit there until it stops, and what I call the peg zone, the peak out. It peaks out at whatever temperature and it sticks there and it sits. That'll tell me if it's sitting at 200 degrees and I just stuck it at 212 degrees of water, boiling water, that tells me my gauge is off by 12 degrees. So when I take it back, if you can't calibrate it, now you know mentally that whatever I'm looking at, I subtract 12 degrees from it, right? And that's what I'm cooking with. If your gauge is sitting up here, your meat is down here, what's the temperature of your meat? It ain't the temp up here, because heat rises, right? The temperature down here, you can buy your little oven temperature thing. I would show it to you, but it's dirty. I got it soaking right now to clean off all the crud. Again, this is equipment maintenance, y'all. Soaking to clear it all off so I can just clean the screen. I use this in my Boss Hog, the big one, all the time. I have like 3 or 4. Usually I use those when I'm doing a biscuit test. Another video, but I just put them everywhere in my grill, and they tell me where my hot zones, stuff like that is. But anyway, get you one of these, right? Get you one of these, stick it in your water, get it calibrated. Stay tuned for check number 6, and then we're gonna get y'all on y'all way. We back. Let's talk about check number 6, y'all. We're gonna talk about the time lock. And what I mean by that is how you count your time and get prepped to do your cook and present it, whether it's just you and the family, you and the neighbors, you and a crew of 50 people waiting, you cooking for somebody else and they sitting down and they want to see you on the grill. Hey, no more pressure than that right there. I did a sweet 16th birthday one time, man, and them little kids, I want hot dogs and burgers. I still was cooking chicken. Oh my goodness, you talking about pressure? Ain't nothing like pressure from a kid talking about they want some hot dogs and burgers, man. Not even the adults. I can deal with them. Shoot them some alcohol and give them some whiskey or whatever. And you bought yourself 30 minutes to an hour. But kids, I don't care how much juice, water, Gatorade you got. They want them hot dogs, they want them hot dogs, right? So it's more important that you get stuff out and have backups. And my last thing when we talk about resting food is how it's going to save your day. But when we talk about time locks, I think I talked about this example earlier. Food prepping, let's say an example, I think it was said either 6:30 or 5. Let's just say 5, right? You got to be ready to cook at 5 p.m. I mean, ready to eat at 5 p.m. You got to back that up. So that means your food need to be coming off the grill around 3 o'clock. Why? Food tastes better when it's sitting rest, right? But what you don't want to do is, ain't nothing like cooking some food and then, oh, I'm leaving on the grill until everybody get here. That food finna be dry. You might well throw it away. You might well eat it now. So no, get you what we call a Cambro, and I'm already talking in this stage 7, or check 7, but we talking about this food and the time lock because it will save you. Those 2 hours from 3 to 5 is what's gonna save you. Gives you a chance to wind down, maybe take a nap, do some cleanup, get prepared, get yourself fresh so you can have and indulge with everybody else, right? If you ain't already been indulging already. And yeah, so now you're at 3 p.m. So now you back up and you say, I'm cooking, let's say ribs. And for the sake of time, we're gonna say baby backs. Baby backs to me, when I'm smoking them, takes me about 5 hours. Why? Because I live by the 2-2-1 method, y'all. And I know this is a whole nother teaching topic, but the 2-2-1 method is 5 hours. 2 hours of cooking on the grill, 2 hours wrapped in aluminum foil, 1 hour, you take it out of aluminum foil and cook it for an hour. So again, 2 hours on the grill, fresh out the pack, seasoned, whatever, however you got it, you marinate it, you brine it, however you did it, you season it, they're ready to go. You put them on the grill 2 hours from there. You come back, you wrap them, put a little apple juice in there, hint, apple juice, maybe a little apple cider vinegar if you like that type of flavor, depends on where you're from. Carolinas do it different from Florida and Georgia. Kansas City do it different from everybody. So everybody got a little taste of tweak that they like, right? So however you do it, you wrap them up for 2 hours, and then you got an hour that you take it out, because when you're wrapping that aluminum foil, guess what it does? It makes that meat tender. I don't know too many people, unless you ain't got no teeth, that you want tender ribs that you could just, maybe a baby, perfect for them, right? Cook it until they fall apart. Put a little sauce on there and they can eat it. But for the traditional adult, they want a little tug. And if he's rough you from Texas, man, you want to, nah, let me stop. You know, they love brisket out there. But no, seriously. So now you at 5 hours, count back from 3 o'clock, that puts you at about what? 10 a.m. That means you have to put your meat on the grill at 10 a.m. Now, how many of y'all know how long it takes for your grill to catch on and be at the right temp? I can tell you my Big Joe 3 upstairs, 45 minutes. I already know that, like clockwork. And that's just how I do it. I've seen some people doing 15, but I let my grill come up to temp. But again, knowing your grill is how you become a pit master. So again, you done already lost another 45 minutes, let's say an hour, 45 minutes. 15 minutes to light it, 45 minutes to get it going and get you a good temp where you hovering at a certain level, right? So now you done went back, that's 10 o'clock, you at 9 o'clock now. Now what are you gonna do? 9 o'clock is when you going out there to light your grill. What else do you have to do before that? Did you take your ribs out and season them? Oh no, I forgot. I went to sleep, I worked Friday. Man, I just totally forgot. That means you gotta be up about 4, 5 in the morning to season because you want them to sit. And I'll give you a trick. If you got about an hour, season your ribs, let them sit out while you light the grill. Ain't no sense in putting them back in the refrigerator. Here's a trick. If you take, please don't do this, but if you take food out of the refrigerator and put it right on the grill, what temperature is it at? Let's say, for the sake of argument, it's cold as heck, right? How long does it take somebody or food that's cold to get warm? Forever, right? And if you already rushing, that's the last thing you want to do. You better off taking it out, let it sit, get close to, when I say close to room temperature, right? You don't want to sit out for too long. I would say 10 to 15 minutes at max, and then put it on the grill and introduce it. Because what'll happen is you take something fresh, especially a pork butt. You could take a pork butt, your grill hovering at 275, 250, 225 if you know what you're doing. You put it on that grill finna drop to maybe 175. Because you just put a big piece of meat on there. How long you think a grill, the average grill that somebody ain't really spend enough money on, gonna take to get back to temperature? I'm gonna tell you, you finna be there all day. You already late. People cussing you out. Like, oh my goodness, you don't want that in my world. I promise you, because folks can get a little rowdy, especially when they pay for your services, right? So just do it the right way. Prep work is practice. When you're at home, just write it on a piece of paper. Do your math. Let me see if I can get this done by this time. Or do it the Ford way and just log every step of the way you're doing it. Season my meat, lighten the grill, put my meat on the grill, taking it off, rest time, eat, and write it down. And you say, oh, so if I do it at 6 a.m., it's ready by 3 for whatever you're cooking, chicken wings, whatever the case may be. You're winning. I promise you're going to thank me later, man. Just doing the small math, doing the research. Takes you 5-10 minutes, man. Simple math. Write it on a piece of paper, sticky, a magnet, put it up, put it in your phone. Everybody got a phone. That's how you burn up food, too, looking at your phone. But use your phone and go from there, y'all. Without further ado, let's talk about step number 7. Check number 7, since we already talked about it. We talked about the Cambro. I got a Cambro, which is, I just bought it off of, well, I didn't just buy it. I bought it like 4 years ago. When you take your food out, I'm going to tell you how you set this up. And you can do this with a regular cooler. Take you some hot water and pour it in your cooler about 30 minutes before you're about to put your food in there. You're going to thank me later. Let it sit for about 30 minutes. Then you're going to take it out, pour the hot water out because it's not going to be as hot. But what it does is it gets your cooler up to temperature. From there, you take towels. Get your old towels. Like, you know, my wife, she be buying towels probably every 4-5 months. Overkill. But I appreciate the softness, baby. But no, get the you take these old towels instead of throwing them away. You save them, and what you do is you line the inside of your grill. I mean your cooler, and then from there, when you put your food in your pans and stuff in there, that will hold the temps for up to 5-6 hours just with a regular cooler. Again, with my Cambro, all I do is I put hot water in there, let it sit for a little bit, and then I put it in there. Man, that temp will still be at no more than 1 to 2 degrees every hour. That's how long it takes to drop. Guess how much time I bought myself if I cook, especially on the Big Joe 3, if I cook the night before, put a Boston butt on it and let it run all night, and I get up and take it out and put it in there, pan it up and put it in the Cambro. I just bought myself a whole day almost. So buying the right equipment will save you a life of time, man. It's time to get busy, y'all. Enough about talking about the safety and stuff. Y'all be safe out there. Love y'all, man. Appreciate all the support from those and the new ones. Let's rock. Let's get busy, man. We finna take this thing from ground 0 to 100. Y'all stay tuned, man. I got Coach Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you're gonna see content on all of them. Stay tuned, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Holla at your boy.